Eleanor woke to the sound of rushing water and found her compartment filled with mist. Not the dense, obscuring kind, but something lighter, more ethereal, as if clouds had decided to pay a visit and were being polite about it. She pressed her face to the window and saw that the train was crossing a bridge. But what a bridge it was! A structure so delicate it seemed impossible that it could support the train's weight, made of what looked like spun glass and moonlight, stretching across a chasm so deep its bottom was lost in swirling fog. Below the bridge, Eleanor could see glimpses of different worlds in the mist. One moment, the fog would clear to reveal a desert of silver sand under 3 moons. The next moment, an ocean of liquid mercury where ships with crystal sails navigated by starlight. Then a city made entirely of stained glass, every building a cathedral of colored light. World after world, reality after reality, all existing simultaneously in the space beneath the bridge. The bridge between worlds came a familiar voice. Conductor Orion stood in her doorway, looking more otherworldly than usual in the mist-filled light. This is where your journey reaches its turning point, Eleanor. For nights you've traveled, and each landscape has taught you something. Now comes the test, the choice that will determine whether you reach Aurora Valley or return home unchanged. Eleanor's heart quickened with apprehension. What kind of choice? Come, Orion said, offering his hand. The bridge isn't just something we cross. It's something we walk, experience, become part of. Every passenger must walk the bridge between worlds if they wish to complete their journey. Eleanor took his hand and let him lead her through the train. They passed through carriages she hadn't seen before, one filled with mirrors that showed not reflections but possibilities, another where the walls were made of water that somehow didn't spill, a third where gravity seemed to be optional and passengers floated peacefully near the ceiling. Finally, they reached a door at the very front of the train, just behind the engine. Orion opened it, and they stepped out onto a platform that extended from the train's front, suspended impossibly over the chasm. The bridge stretched ahead of them, delicate and strong, beautiful and terrifying. It was wider than it had looked from Eleanor's window, wide enough for 10 people to walk abreast comfortably, but it still seemed too insubstantial to be real. Through the translucent material of the bridge's surface, Eleanor could see the swirling worlds below, each one calling out with its own reality, its own truth. Other passengers were on the bridge, walking slowly, some alone and others in pairs or small groups. Marcus was there, his violin on his back, pausing to look down at a world where music seemed to be a visible, tangible thing. Miriam was further ahead, her knitting needles clicking as she walked, creating something that glowed with each stitch. The bridge between worlds is where we confront duality, Orion explained, his voice somehow clear despite the rushing wind. Every person lives between worlds, Eleanor. The world as it is and the world as they wish it to be. The person they've become and the person they truly are. The life they're living and the life they dream of. Most people spend their entire existence paralyzed by this duality, unable to commit fully to either world, stuck in the middle, never quite here or there. He gestured to the bridge beneath their feet. To reach Aurora Valley, you must walk this bridge and make a choice. Not a choice between the worlds. You can't choose to only live in dreams or only in reality, but a choice to integrate them, to find a way to live in both simultaneously, to be both who you are now and who you're becoming. Eleanor looked down at the worlds swirling below. In one, she saw herself in a beautiful studio, painting with complete freedom, supported by grants and sales, living the artist's life she'd always dreamed of. In another, She saw herself at her current marketing job, comfortable and secure, never taking the risk to change. In a third, she saw herself having already failed, tried to paint, produced terrible work, embarrassed herself, proved right everyone who'd said art wasn't practical. "I don't know how to choose," Eleanor said, her voice small against the vastness of the chasm. "Every choice feels like it means giving something up." "That's because you're thinking of choice as subtraction," Orion said gently. "This or that. But what if choice could be integration? What if you could be both practical and creative, both secure and adventurous, both who you've been and who you're becoming?" He pointed to the bridge itself. "Look closely at what you're standing on." Eleanor knelt and examined the bridge's surface. Up close, she could see it was made of countless threads woven together, threads of different colors, different materials, different strengths. Some were thick as ropes, others delicate as spider silk. Some glowed with light, others seemed to absorb it. But they were all woven together into something stronger than any single thread could be. Every thread is a choice, a possibility, an aspect of self, Orion explained. The bridge doesn't ask you to choose one thread. It asks you to weave them all together into something that can hold your weight as you cross from who you were to who you're becoming. He straightened and smiled at her. "Walk the bridge, Eleanor. And as you walk, listen to what each world below tells you. Let them show you all your possibilities. Then, when you reach the middle, there's a platform there. You'll know it when you see it. That's where you make your integration. That's where you weave your threads together and decide what kind of life you're going to build." With that, Orion stepped back into the train, leaving Eleanor alone on the platform at the bridge's entrance. She took a deep breath, touched the seed from the garden of lost hours that she still carried in her pocket for courage, and stepped onto the bridge between worlds. The moment her foot touched the bridge's surface, she felt it. A thrumming vibration that seemed to resonate with her heartbeat, as if the bridge was alive and aware of her presence. The worlds below swirled faster, each one calling out to her, showing her possibilities. She walked slowly, letting herself look down despite the vertigo it induced. In world after world, she saw versions of herself. Some successful, some struggling, some happy, some lost. Each world showed her a truth, but also a warning. None of these futures were complete. They each represented choosing one thread and abandoning the others. Then she saw it, the platform Orion had mentioned. It was circular, maybe 15 feet across, made of the same translucent material as the bridge, but somehow more solid, more present. In its center was a loom, ancient and beautiful, with threads of every imaginable color hanging from it, waiting. Eleanor stepped onto the platform and approached the loom. And there, she began to weave.